of round 8. We have got Bad Robot on pole position on the random grid this time, and we got race 1 winner from earlier today, Lee, in second place in the pastel blue BMW. Diesel in third place. Diesel could get a decent result out. This has been driving very cleanly all season, and these cars reward clean, careful driving. Graham trying to battle it out for the championship lead. He's got a real opportunity here to make some inroads. He needs to keep it together. He starts fourth place with his nemesis Josh starting last. Andy is shown in fifth place. We understand Andy might not be taking part in this race, so expect to see that Datsun not go anywhere. We have Oz Phillips in sixth, championship organiser, hoping for a good result. He's not yet had a podium position in the Porsche. I'm not convinced that's going to happen today. This is a tricky circuit for those long tail cars, but nevertheless we'll hope he'll give it his best shot, as he always does. We've got Mark in 7th position, and he had a great result in that first race, and he often drives very well. He's a very quick driver, is Mark, and that'll be good to see if he can get towards the front. Dugamus in 8th place. He's got some making up to do. He looked like he was on for a good result in that first race, and it all just fell apart towards the end, so it was really disappointing for him. He's had podiums already this season, so it'd be really good to see if he can get back up there. And then, as we've already mentioned, Josh, championship leader starts, got dead last. So, race is about to get underway. Who's going to get away quickest? We've got Ford versus BMW on the front row, with Ford and BMW behind. So, it's Ford BMW, lights on. And away they go. It's a slowish start across the Bad Robot, and an epic start. 4th position from Graham in the pastelised yellow BMW, and he launches into the lead. What a start, one of the best we've seen all season, and this is his opportunity. But you can see that Josh has made a similarly epic start. He's up to 5th from 9th, and look at this is just fantastic. Looked like Oz off in the Porsche off to the side. That's unfortunate, but back to the front we've got Lee in 2nd position, Bad Robot in 3rd from that pole position, hoping for a good result in Ford. Ford hasn't won a race yet so far this season. In fact, it's all been BMW so far. We'll see what he can do as Josh tries to get the inside. Bad Robot just about meets it on the track, and Josh is up to 3rd place from 9th on the grid. That's a fantastic start, and that's going to really annoy Graham, who launched into the lead before. And Graham's run wide. Graham's run wide already, and Lee is back into the lead. Takes the lead for the first time in the race, but Josh from 9th is now pressurising for that lead. From 9th place, but he's now less than half a second on the back bumper of Lee's BMW. So Josh really keen to make amends for race 1, and he is not slowing down for anybody, and he's not taking any prisoners. It is hell for leather. So Graham has got some making up to do. Lee loses it a little bit coming out the final corner, and that's enabled Josh to take the lead after only 2 laps of the race from last place in the grid. Well, that is a masterclass in driving so far, but let's not count our chickens before they've hatched, because we've seen the mistakes coming thick and fast from everybody, including the championship leaders in the last race. So it is BMW, and then Oz holding up the non-BMW flag with Porsche in 4th place. That's an epic drive so far, Oz. Hope you can keep it together and bring home a decent result for that Porsche. We've got Mark in 5th place. Mark's not really made any inroads. We didn't really see much of him on the first lap. We concentrated on what's happening right at the front, and so we didn't get to see whether he experienced any issues, but he started 5th, I think, or thereabouts, and he's not really made any inroads so far. We've got Dugamus in 6th place, Diesel in 7th, and Bad Robot goes from first to worst, unfortunately. He had that pole position, he's now last. Back out in front, Josh is stretching that lead, and he's lost it, and this is why we cannot speak too soon in this race, in these races, because it is just so easy to lose the back end, and he's lost 3-4 seconds, and Graham, his championship rival, takes the lead, and he's also got to get back past Lee before he can even go chasing after Graham. And Lee, after winning race 1, he's not exactly a slouch, so he's not going to do the bloke past, I don't think. Josh in third, Mark in fourth. Bit of a lonely fourth at the moment for Mark, but good stuff from Mark. And Diesel's only dropped a couple of positions off his start grid. That's another good bit of driving so far from what we've seen. Oz Phillips, he was in fourth place though, so he's lost a little bit. Didn't see how that happened, but he seems to have gathered it back together. We've got Bad Robot now back up past Dugamus, whose miserable day continues in 8th place. Better luck for the third race there, Dugamus. We've seen him do some good races so far. And out in front, Graham stretching that lead 2.5 seconds. And as we say it, commentator's curse because he runs wide, he goes into the gravel. And now Josh is just not far behind because he's got back past Lee. So on board with Josh. Now how does he deal with his championship rival? Well, this is on board as we head down the corkscrew, and he deals with it very, very swiftly indeed. He's already trying to have a go. Couldn't quite do it, had to back out from the throttle, I think, maybe even try a little bit of brakes. So, couldn't quite deal with it in that instance. But I don't think it'll be too long before he has another go. Graham's trying to keep it together, nice and tidy out of there. We know Slipstream plays a bit of a part though, leaves a little bit further back, so it's worth watching these two. So we head down towards turn 1, and he's towing, but can he outbrake? That is the question. Will Graham make a mistake? He doesn't this time. Graham keeps it very tidy indeed, a lovely line. And Josh perhaps pushing a little bit harder there. And Josh, you don't really get pushed too hard. A second place will be good, but he is definitely pushing hard to try and get that place, get that first place off Graham. We're on lap 4, so we've got a long way to go yet, and you've got to think the speed that Josh is carrying, he may well be able to win this yet. Further back, there's not too much else going on. Oz Phillips not far ahead of Diesel now, so Diesel having a good run. And Douglas is on the back of Bad Robot, so trying to make up for lost ground. And he might have an opportunity here as Bad Robot goes wide, almost finishes the car. Douglas straight through there. Absolutely instinctive, but these two as one for the lead again, and you can barely put a cigarette paper between the two as we go back on board with championship leader Josh chasing down Graham. Final hairpin, left-hander, hard on the brakes. Graham goes up the steep, Josh goes deep too. That's not going to help, but we'll just be able to try and slipstream up the hill. They head over the brow, Graham goes for a wide line, cuts across the apex, actually keeps it out quite wide, but it's all very even so far. Graham does get this first corner very nicely from what we've seen the last couple of times around. Josh definitely pushing hard, and look at the exit, he put his power down much earlier. Launches up the back Graham, I don't think there was contact there, and he's through for the lead. I think Graham overcooked it slightly with the brakes, it's difficult to tell. I don't think there was contact, and now Josh from 9th to 1st. What an epic drive so far. I mean, Graham had that great stuff from Josh. Lee in a bit of a lonely third after winning race 1, but I think a podium would be fantastic to follow up that win. So nevertheless, I think Lee's going to be pretty chuffed. Mark in 4th at the moment, having a pretty lonely race. Mark's got some good speed though, so we'll have to see where he ends up by the end of the race. If others make mistakes, he could well end up on that podium. Oz Phillips in 5th, still ahead of Diesel. I say holding off Diesel. Diesel's a little way behind, and it's actually Dugamus who's the man on the mission now, as he lines up Diesel to try and take that 6th place. Diesel's no slouch. He's not short of speed, and he's trying to prove his worth now and see if he can make his way back up the order with some good overtakes. Diesel is very, very capable clean driver though, so it's not going to be completely straightforward. He's not just going to drive straight past him, and the BMW is probably the slowest of a lot of these in the straight line as well, so Douglas is going to do this with a bit of nous, and he loses it, back tyre over the curb, and we saw it straight away. The car just snapped round, there was absolutely nothing could be done, and he recovers, but he's now dropped dead last. And we've got Josh out in front. Graham's not got too far behind, just a second between them. Lee a little further back. Mark's still in the lonely place, as is Oz. And Diesel maintains that 6th place for now. forward. So Diesel leading forward at the moment. So good stuff there. Graham launches down the corkscrew. That's not going to help you catch up though, Graham. You're going to have to find a better way of doing it than that. But that might be your way of doing it. I was just about to say the same place that Josh made his mistake earlier, and he's round again. And he's round in a big way. He's stuck in that wall. He's going to lose second place for sure to Lee. And Mark is not far away either. Mark is coming down the hill. And go on board with Mark. He can see Josh off just ahead. He's not close enough though to make a move. And Josh is glad of that. The field has strung out quite a bit, and I don't believe it. I hadn't even got the words out of my mouth about how that was where Josh lost the car earlier, and he's gone round again. And I'm afraid, so close to the end of the race, if Graham can hold it together, this is going to guarantee his championship rival to take more points off of him. Lee still doing a good job there in second place, but a long way off the race leader, 6.5 seconds off of Graham, but Graham's not been immune to making mistakes so far. I saw Josh making having a twitch in the background there. Josh, you need to be a bit careful, mate, because you don't want to throw it away again. You need to hold on to these positions where you can. But look, he's not slowing down at all. Look at the speed he launches in at over the gravel there, over the curb. And this is the bit that he can't seem to keep the car together on, so he needs to keep it tight, Oh, he's still pushing hard though. He's still pushing hard. He knows there's that fine line between being fast and throwing it off the track. And Graham extends the lead now over 7 seconds, 7.5 seconds. About 7 seconds over Lee. So who's close on track? I hear you ask. And we have got Diesel not too far away from Oz. So if Diesel can pull a scalp here on Oz, I think that would be quite an accolade. And he has been driving well all season so far. He's racking up the points. He's always been in attendance, and he's always driven well, in my opinion. Very, very tidy indeed. Whereas others have pushed hard and thrown things away. That's not what I've seen from Diesel. You very rarely see this man spinning in a car that is very, very difficult to drive. So let's wait and see what Diesel can pull out of this. Josh is closing on Lee, which is not something I was expecting to say, but we've got over 2 laps left to go, and that gap is really coming down. I actually thought Lee would keep that gap to the end of the race, but at this stage Josh is likely to finish in second place, I think, because unless Lee can get the hammer down, there's not going to be much stopping this man. He's done a 24.3, which is faster than what he did in the first race. 3 seconds and 2.5 seconds quicker than what Lee managed on the last lap. So that's not good from Lee, and that's excellent from Josh. Lee responds slightly, but he's still over a second slower, so he's lost 4 seconds in the last 2 laps. That's a huge, huge margin to lose, and Lee needs to keep his foot down, but it's that fine line. You can see Lee almost losing the back as he comes out of turn 1 there. And Graham's not really stealing a march over these guys. He's lapping similarly to Lee, a fair bit slower than what Josh is at the moment. But he doesn't have to push too hard. He's got a lap and a half to go, and he could take this win. Oz Phillips slides wide in good place there at turn 1. Diesel can't quite match him on pace actually. Diesel's not as fast, but is consistent. And Dugamus continues his attempt to recover, and he was 5 seconds faster than Diesel on the last lap. So if he can hold this together, he will have that opportunity to take 6th place off of Diesel. Out front, Graham has lost a bit of lead now. Lee maintains 2nd place at the moment, just just from Josh. As we go on board with Josh, we head up the hill. Josh has now taken second place though, and there's 7 seconds between him and Graham, so I don't think it's going to be enough in the final lap unless Graham makes a mistake, which we have seen from all of these guys. And Lee's doing a tidy job, but I don't think he's going to get that second place because he just doesn't seem to have any response in overall pace to what Josh seems to be able to pull out the bag at this stage of the race. But Josh is absolutely monstering that gap down. It's now down to 5 seconds. It was 7.5 at the beginning of this lap, so Graham must be making mistakes. Graham really needs to just drive so sensibly and just bring this home now, Graham. Go on, stroke it home, son. No mistakes, no mistakes. Keep it together. It's fairly tidy, a little bit wide of apex, but tidy. Josh much tighter to the apex. Josh absolutely pulling that gap back now. And as we head towards the final couple of turns, Graham's really only got one more opportunity to cock this up, but it's not an easy corner in these cars. You've got to be careful of the power. Graham teeters out the corner, and he comes home to take what I think is his second race victory of the season. Graham wins, excellent job, 4th on the grid. But this man from 9th on the grid comes back to finish 2nd. He could have even won it, but a 2nd place nonetheless. Fantastic job. And Lee backs up his win in race 1 with a 3rd place. An awesome result. Mark, a slightly lonely 4th, but a 4th is nothing to complain about. If he could just bring it up to the line, he's got a good gap ahead of Oz Phillips. But yeah, good job there, Mark. A lonely race, but good job nonetheless, mate. And Oz Phillips getting a pretty decent result with Porsche to hopefully pull it home in 5th place. And Diesel's a few corners behind in BMW in the Ford. He might just about hold of Diesel's BMW, but let's watch the Porsche as it comes up to the line now. 5th place for Oz Phillips. Diesel comes into the last corner, runs a little bit wide, but not too wide, and it's a drag up to the line. The Ford does it. He holds 6th place. Dugamus in 7th. And Bad Robot, sad to say, from 1st on the grid, is going to be dropped dead last, and he's just going to be classified as he comes up to the line. So that's race 2 here done at Laguna Seca, and confirmation of results. We have got Graham ahead of Josh, ahead of Lee. That's your podium. Then you've got Mark, Oz Phillips, Diesel, Dugamus, Bad Robot, and Andy did not start the race. So look at that lap time from Josh, 1:23.6. I thought Graham's was good at 1:24.8, but Josh 1.2 seconds faster, and that was a sensational last lap. I think that was where he set that fast lap, so well done, Josh.